Great 2-second PB there from the young Evan Jones as well. Third place, really great fight all the way to the end.
All right, we lost a couple from here. Guy Brooks is not with us, and Keenan Dolls of Jamaica. That's going to make the qualification a little bit easier, but the men to watch are in lane number 4 and 5. Already with 2 gold medals is Lewis Clareburt. There's Duncan Scott, who's looking to win this one, but he's going to have Brendan Smith of Australia on one side, Lewis Clareburt on the other, and Clareburt looked fantastic in the 400 IM, won the 400 IM, which Duncan Scott did not do. But they're going head-to-head on the 200. And also, what will benefit them now, Hannah, is knowing that the previous heat was not very quick, so they're not going to have to go all out.
No, certainly, but I think there's probably going to be a little bit of an ego battle between Clareburt and Scott and Brendan Smith. Brendan Smith winning that silver medal behind Clareburt, and then you've got Duncan Scott also bronze. So you've got the 3 400 medley specialist there right in the centre lane, and Clareburt really taking it out very strong here, so he's pretty much making a statement.
Well, that's a little bit slower, actually, than was the first 50 in the previous one. Duncan Scott in second place. The Malaysian we haven't mentioned, actually, Arvind Singh Chahal is in lane number 1. He was third at the 50 turn.
Coming through strongly now is Duncan Scott. You can really see he's picked up that stroke right there, going into the breaststroke. Breaststroke is Clareburt's probably stronger stroke, but the Scott does have a good 50 breaststroke within him.
Well, got to be honest, that you can see about 90% both of them. They don't really need to flog it in the morning because the time so far have not been particularly quick. Duncan Scott, however, will want to try and win this if he can, and just put a marker down for later on today. Lewis Clareburt will track him all the way, waiting for Brendan Smith to make his move. We haven't seen him. There he is, just in the corner of your picture.
Brendan Smith is probably more predominant within the 400 medley, so for him, the endurance, you probably see him come through more in the back half of this race. But again, it is that battle between Scott and Clareburt coming into that final turn. Duncan Scott, we know, has a phenomenal freestyle, but Lewis Clareburt will fight right until the end. And when pushed, I think he can do something pretty special in the freestyle.
But Duncan Scott saying, this is my territory. You can have the 4, the 2 is mine, okay, Lewis Clareburt. And Clareburt saying, yeah, well, we'll find that out later on today. Doesn't matter this morning what we do, as long as we qualify, and they both will. Gagner's finishing pretty quick, and now so is Brendan Smith in lane number 3. But 1, 2, 3 will be Scotland, followed by New Zealand, followed by Australia. Clareburt just coming in behind Duncan Scott, and he hasn't broken the 2-minute barrier either. So nowhere near as quick in the morning as I thought it was going to be. 2:00:41. So that means that Tom Dean, in fact, is the only swimmer to break 2 minutes.
Yeah, I guess being in the first of the seeded heat, sometimes you do have to commit because you don't know what the next heats are going to do. So that can be the case that the first seeded heat will be a lot faster because they have to set the standard, and then the next heats that follow can do just enough. They can kind of play around. Okay, they've gone pretty quick. Do we step up or do we just dial it back a little bit? So the last heat had that advantage, seeing those 2 heats.
Well, Jason Fanton's 2:01:44 does get him into the final. There'll be 2 Australians. Very key New Zealander in Lewis Clareburt, but Tom Dean and Finley Knox, in fact, were the only 2 to go under 2 minutes. Duncan Scott, third, going into the final, and no Mitch Larkin in that 8 that